Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Marine Wisdom. Previously, we saw part 1 and part 2 of our checklist for engine room rounds. Moving on to part 3, we will continue from our checklist for the main air compressor. So, we'll check if the unloader is leaking. And if I'll just zoom into the picture, can you see these solenoid valves? So, they are basically in the unloader pipes, and as we all know that the unloader should only be open during a short time when the compressor is starting and when it's stopped. But if the compressor is running and if these pipes, wait, I'll just show you. If these pipes, if they're leaking, they'll be hot. So we'll know our unloaders are leaking. And this has actually happened in my previous ship. So it's a good idea to just, if the compressor is running, to just place your hand over there and see if the unloader is not leaking. Then we'll go to the panel and we'll check for the motor current. It should be in the green area. If it's overloaded, it'll be above the green area, and that would imply that the shaft has some obstruction, so it's drawing more current. Maybe the bearing is seized, and there can be a variety of reasons, so we will investigate accordingly. Moving on to a main air reservoir. So most ships have auto drain systems, and as you can see in the picture, there are the valve with the red cap, this one. This is the auto drain, and just next to that is the manual drain. So most ships do have auto drain, but even then it's a good practice to drain the air bottles every day. And I used to do it for 30 seconds, and I used to have a torch in my hand to see if there's any water coming. There was a flap on top of the drain. So I used to just open the drain, just drain for 30 seconds, then close the valve, drain again for 30 seconds, and close the valve. So that's how I did it, and it's a good practice to drain the air bottles every day. We should also manually check and confirm if the pressure in the bottles match as shown in the remote reading in the engine control room. Moving on to a control air dryer. So for those of you who don't know, the control air dryer serves to remove any moisture from the air, and otherwise this moisture will enter our pneumatic control systems for our main engine, for our boiler. So all the automation that is happening because of compressed air, that will have moisture, so that's will obviously damage it. So this basically removes moisture from the air, and it is essential to check all these pressures daily, all these pressures. And if you see, it is basically like a refrigerator, so it's just a refrigerating system, and it's removing moisture from the air by lowering its temperature, so that moisture just condenses, and then it's drained out. You see this auto drain, it drains out. So you can take a screenshot of this if you are interested to note the understanding of a control air dryer. It is also important to check the differential pressure of the filters. So in the picture shown, that's the filter, and it's a very easy process. You basically just have to just turn it, and then it comes off, and that's the filter cover comes off, and then removing the filter is also very, very easy, and it's usually done once in 3 months. But this is an important thing to do. We should not neglect it, and we will get to know if the filter is dirty if the differential pressure is high. Moving on to cascade tank, or we can also call it hot well. So the first picture that you see, that's the observation tank, and basically the water level is somewhere over here, and we should monitor this during our rounds. We should check for any traces of oil over there. If there's oil, that means we have oil contamination, and it could be due to a variety of reasons. Maybe there's some leak in the steam heating coils for our bunker tanks. So investigate accordingly. And one way to find out which coil is leaking is to just open the drain traps and see if there's any oil coming out. So yeah, that's one way. We should also check the salinity monitor, and so in this picture it shows 44 ppm, so just refer your manual for the exact for the range of values. And also the temperature should be on my ship we used to keep it around 85 to 90, and this ensures deaeration. Deaeration basically means removing oxygen from the water, because oxygen aids corrosion, and also separating the oil from the water. So if oil is separated, then we can easily see it floating in our observation window, so that will indicate that there's an oil contamination. Then moving on to the dump condenser, we have the control panel for the dump condenser, and then just see if the set value and the process value is in range. Just see if the process value is in range and not deviating from a set value. Take a look at the side class of the cascade tank and fill it up. This is very important, and if you're filling it up, please remember to shut the valve. Many times we just open it and then we continue with our rounds and we never come back, and then we have a high water level alarm. So always remember to close it. Moving on to the freshwater generator. So we'll first look at the vacuum in the vacuum gauge, and that should be in the green area always, otherwise it will affect our freshwater production. And right next to that is our temperature gauge for the shell. So even the shell temperature is of importance, because even this, if it's too low, that will affect our production. So so according to your type, just refer your manual. On my ship, we had a recommended value of 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. Then we'll take a look at the distillate pump, this one, and we will look at the pump pressure. We'll observe if the flow meter, which is this one, is operating, and we'll take a look at the salinity indicator. We should just see if it's not too far from the set point. It usually does give an alarm, but if you're on around, just take a look at it anyway. We'll take a look at all the ejector pump parameters, the pressures and the temperatures, and just ask your seniors around 2 bar, 1.5 to 2 bar, or whatever the value it should be, and just cross check that. And if the plant is shut off, check if the salinity indicator is off. Check if all the valves are also shut. And if the shell temperature is low, this would confirm that our valves are holding. So it's a good idea to check all these temperatures as well. And with that, we've reached the end of part 3 of our checklist, and there are a few things left. We are left with the lower engine room rounds, which will be covered in the next parts. So please stay tuned, and please subscribe. Please like, comment and share, and let us know that you guys are watching, and I hope you guys found this useful. And I'm gonna be linking our Instagram handle in the description. So for those of you who don't know, Marine Wisdom is an initiative started by mariners. It is for mariners to help them clear their license exams quickly. So it's for class 4 exams, class 2 exams, and class 1 exams. So if you have any doubts, please reach out to us on Instagram, and also leave a comment below, and we will help you out. Thank you for watching.